Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mining Insider. I've been waiting 20 months for this, and it has finally got here. What could it be? I know some of you think, 20 months. Is it a helium miner? No, it's not a helium miner. It's something better, but was it worth the wait, especially with the current market conditions? And I guess you're probably wondering, what is it? And normally too, when you get hardware, it's just kind of you buy it, but this one actually has a story behind it. But let me open it up first and give you a look at what's inside and we can make sure it's there. 20 months to wait for this. Was it worth it? We have a brand new EVGA RTX 3080. But you may say, hey, Crypto Mining Insider, that's not special. But it is, because this is a KR. This is actually the full hash rate card before they introduced the light hash rate cards. And they were totally discontinued, and they've been out of stock everywhere. And this one actually has a really interesting story to it. What makes this one special is I actually think I got the very, very last one on the queue. I can't believe it's actually here after waiting for 20 months. And the box even says it. It's a KR version. So let's open it up right now and just confirm everything is great with it. There it is. Still sealed brand new. So this is a full hash RTX 3080 graphic card. And you see the nice solid back plate on it. It's all shrink wrapped. You can see it was definitely not a return. It's brand new. Yeah, look at that number. Ending with KR. I did it. I actually got it. And I really think it's the last 3080 full hash card on the EVGA Queue. And it has a really interesting backstory to it because I almost lost it. My quest with this beautiful card began in September of 2020, shortly after the RTX 3000 series of cards were released. I really had my eye on that RTX 3080 because look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it has so much power, and it just could be running my games so much better than I could in the past. But I wasn't the only one who had my eye on these cards. Many other people, many of the gamers were dying to get their hands on this card. And this is before crypto even rallied, which would have been probably very, very end of 2020 to put it at its numbers. Before the crypto miners started getting into it, the cards were really impossible to get even back then. Newegg would kind of have these random drops and a few other places, but it just seemed a premium was being paid, and that was right when the cards were released. Seemed to kind of just lay the foundation for, I guess, a scalping market. And prices were very, very high, and these cards were just so hard to get. So like many of you, I went to many of the sites looking for things, and I even submitted my entries. So I went to the EVGA site. I actually submitted an entry for this card. I was probably late to the game with it. October 29th of 2020 is when I submitted to be put on the EVGA queue for this card. And once I seen cards were becoming very, very scarce, it'd be great to get a hold of anything. I went on to the EVGA to the queue, and I actually submitted entries for many of the cards. Everything from 3060 Ti's, 3070s, and 3080s, all along the way, hoping I'd get my hands on something. And then at the time too, crypto at this time has already started to explode onto the scene. And once crypto mining started becoming very profitable, then a card like a RTX 3080 could be making $8 a day. Even some at the peak was probably pulling in about $10 a day. Wow, those were incredible numbers. I'd love to go back there. And hopefully we will in the near future. But getting cards was really impossible for us, especially once you had gamers that were really struggling trying to get a hold of one. Someone like myself who likes to game and mine. This was before I went into heavy duty mining. It was impossible to get a card. So I went on the queue, like many of you did, and looking to receive notifications from it. And once crypto mining hit onto the scene, I actually wanted to get more cards, but they were really impossible. And see, I was finally able to get a hold of some 3070s, some further win cards, and they're beautiful cards. But I was really dying to get that 3080, and I actually resorted one time to going and paying a super premium. This was probably at the height of the market. I actually went onto Amazon and I paid $1,599 for one of these cards. And this was a full hash rate card. This was really before the light hash rate cards came onto the scene and, kind of changed everything. This was when you had a card that's making at the time like $10 or $8 a day. You say, wow, if you're making like $250 a month after electricity is what it seemed. It could ROI pretty quickly. This would be like 6 months, 7 months. This is just based on those most optimistic numbers. We've seen the market change around and numbers change, but just wanted to let you know though too is that sometimes I paid a premium. This is one of the few times I did because I just wanted that card so bad. And then after I bought that card from them, shortly after that too, EVGA started getting tighter with their policies on the EVGA Queue. So I even received a notification on June 29th of 2021. This email is to notify you that there's been a change to your notification queue status. You previously signed up to be notified for the 10G-P5-3897-KR to become available. But due to ongoing product availability, you've been moved to the notification queue for the same card, but the KL, the light hash rate card, which features NVIDIA LHR. This card offers the same game performance, but with reduced crypto mining performance for Ethereum. I was like, oh no, because I was really getting very strong into crypto mining at that point. Last thing I wanted to do was trying to sit on a queue for a long time and get a light hash rate card. It goes on then to say EVGA has taken steps to increase availability and speeds up the queue for gamers looking to purchase a graphic card. However, if you wish to remain in the queue for the KR version, which is the full hash rate version, you may opt out of this move and you'll be put back in the notification queue with your previous sign-up time. Please note though that EVGA strongly recommends against opting out because there is no ETA for availability and no guarantee that this order will ever be fulfilled for your original part number. So wow, do I go after this LHR card, which, even at the time were very hard to get LHR cards? Or do I stay in the queue? I was kind of tossed with that. I said, you know what, just go for it. I stayed in the queue for this long. It was already since October, and now this email is June. So I just stayed in the queue. And then they sent me a notification saying that you are not allowed to have more than 2 items active in the queue at any one time anymore. So I was like, wow, this came in October of 2021. So I actually kept my 2 3080s in the queue. Maybe I would get one, but I wasn't really too optimistic at this because it's already a year and basically passed by the time I had received this notification, and still I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel for it. So I all but given up on kind of my chance of getting this card from the queue, considering that they don't even apparently make the KR cards anymore for the full hash rate cards. But then miraculously, on May 4th of this year, 2022, I received an email. Dear valued customer, this email is being sent to you. Request to be notified availability update for your blah, 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 blah. The KR, and this product is marked as in stock as of 5/4. So May 4th of 2022, I finally get a notification. I was really excited about it, but I'm like, I don't know. I had so many expenses going on at the same time. And what do I do? I figured, let me just go. And I made the decision, let me just sleep on it because I know I have 20-hour window to get this card. It was already late at night when I was reading it. So I figured I'll just look in the morning and I'll just confirm and I'll just make that order. I went to bed with that on my mind. And next morning I woke up. I said, you know what? Just go for it. You finally got notified. Been waiting now 17, 18, that's 19 months already on the queue, and you finally got notified of it. So I actually went in to click it, and then it was like, oh no, I couldn't do it. It wouldn't let me check out. They said there's 0 inventory, no availability. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? So I emailed EVGA and I sent them an email saying, I'm trying to purchase this within the 20-hour window, but the link is not working. Please help. And I gave the details. They quickly responded back because EVGA has great customer support. And they said, thank you for contacting us. I do apologize for any inconvenience. Unfortunately, it appears that there is inventory issues about this product, and it's currently out of stock. We can offer you the KL, which is the light hash rate version, or add you back to the queue at the same position you were originally at. However, please bear in mind that there is no guarantee that the KR, the full hash rate cards, would ever be available again, as they have not been in production for over a year. Please let us know how you want to proceed. So, wow, this kind of really shocked me. I got this notification that I get it, but they actually didn't have any more then. What was I going to do? So, at this point, I wasn't very excited about LHR cards anymore, and inventory started coming around. So we know there's a lot more LHR cards on the market. So I wasn't sure what to do. So kind of just crossed my fingers, and I just sent them a thing. Please put me back on the queue for the full hash rate card. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. Of course, I'm making this seem longer than it is, but it's actually a few weeks. But then suddenly on June 13th of this year, I was sent a notification for EVGA that my KR card, they found one for me. I went right away. It didn't waste any time with this time, and I just checked out on it. So I bought my full hash rate card. Actually, at the time, it was kind of expensive, even though they had a discount, but it was still cost me $843.89 plus tax, but shipping was free. At least I had the full hash rate card. The card I've waited basically 20 months for, has finally been ordered. I was absolutely thrilled. I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity because the KR cards, they're just not made anymore. The EVGA reps showed in the email, these cards have been out of production for over a year. So I couldn't wait, and I wanted to get this card so I can actually just put it in my own computer, and I don't have to worry about which drivers I'm using. I can use the very, very latest drivers, and I should be fine with it. I'm really glad I made the decision to buy that card, because a couple of days later, I received an email from EVGA on June 21st of 2022. They sent a queue update. They are basically saying that you received this message because you signed up for our notifications on the queue and be notified to purchase these changes. However, all pending notifications for these parts will be removed, and the product is now available to purchase as supply continues to arrive. So they've seemed to kind of, I don't know if it's just this card or all cards, but they seem to stop the EVGA queue, at least for these very, very rare cards like the KR card that I just got my hands on. So it was just really good timing that I jumped on it at that time. And it kind of made it more exciting for me too, because it's like, wow, after all this fuss of waiting and trying to get it and then missing out on it and couldn't get it, and finally getting one and having all this, I guess, drama to get my hands on it. But now I finally got the card. I actually speculate in my own mind that maybe I actually got the last 3080 full hash card from the EVGA queue, which makes it even extra cool for me. Looking at the EVGA site right now, they actually have a great deal going on. They seem like they're really trying to get rid of a lot of their inventories. This may be a good time to buy. I see some sweet deals on some of the cards that have never seen the price point at this low, and you have to buy it as a bundle. So you have to buy a graphic card, a power supply, and then some accessory with it. But they give you the accessory for really cheap, or 23 cents, I believe. Some of the cards are really good, and they've come back. So like the 3080 Ti, they have the Further Win 3080 Ti Ultra Add to Kit. That's $9.99, which is cheaper than I've seen it before. But then I can bundle that with like a power supply, like the Supernova 1600 watt titanium. So it's titanium, which is their most expensive one, I believe, but it's normally $589, but you can bundle it with that graphic card for $199, and you can only bundle the more powerful cards with a power supply like this. That is super cheap for that power supply of $199, and then you can get it with like a mouse or something else, and before you know it, you have a pretty good deal. And the whole deal here would be, item total would be $2,000 minus $885 would be the discount. Subtotal is $1,214.97. You may be able to use my affiliate code with it too. I'll be putting it down below. Although the affiliates and associates, we don't get any compensation anymore for anything that you purchase, but hopefully it still saves you on something. But still, look, for $1,214.97, you're getting a 3080 Ti, which is a fantastic card. It mines at about 120 mega hash Ethereum. It actually mines better than my 3090 card does, with a 1600 watt titanium, which is their best power supply that I've ever seen. And this whole bundle seems like a great deal, in my opinion, if you're in the market looking for hardware. I think we're going to see a lot more price drops and things in the future. At this point, EVGA just seems like they're just trying to get rid of and unload a lot of their inventory. So this is one of the best deals I've seen so far. So if you're interested in cards, this may be something you want to consider. But unfortunately, unless you're getting a 3090 card, everything was going to be light hash rates. So that about wraps it up for today. This is my story of how I finally got my hands on a full hash rate RTX 3080 card. But am I being overly optimistic or overly enthusiastic about it just because it's a full hash rate card? I don't know why. There's a lot of cards out there in the market. We're seeing it's kind of getting flooded out there. But for the most part too, finding at least from brand new from a dealer from MSRP, or sometimes they have deals, but being able to get the full hash rate card, I don't know, there's something magnetic about it I can't describe. I was just drawn to this card. Originally, I was a little bit hesitant, do I want to make that investment? Because 3080s tend to run hot. I'd rather have 3060 Ti's or 3070s because they don't draw as much power and they run cooler. But something is, I don't know, just indescribable about that full hash rate card. Do you feel the same way? Would you kind of go out of your way even more, or pay even more, search more, or wait 20 months for a full hash rate card? I don't know, I'd love to hear your story and your thoughts on it. So definitely drop a comment down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please remember to give me a big thumbs up, like, oh yeah, and don't forget to press down on that subscribe button so you're notified of some future video updates. I got some exciting new builds. I'm doing a lot of new updates too, even on doing some solo mining. I'm having some great luck with it yet. Still searching for that third block though. Haven't found it yet, but I'm crossing my fingers. Till next time, stay safe. See you on the next video. Happy mining!